Imagine an industry leader stepping onto a stage, the lights dim, the cameras rolling, and within minutes, he delivers a revelation so disruptive that every automaker from Detroit to Stuttgart is forced to rethink their entire strategy. This isn't science fiction. This happened, and the person behind it? Wang Chuanfu, the CEO of BYD, the Chinese electric vehicle giant that's already rewriting the rules of the game. Today, we're diving deep into the announcement that's got the auto industry trembling, and why this one bold move might just shift the balance of power in the global EV race forever. Just a decade ago, BYD was known primarily as a battery manufacturer, but under Wang Chuanfu's leadership, the company evolved into one of the largest electric vehicle makers on the planet, outselling Tesla in some markets and making massive inroads in Europe, Asia, and South America. They didn't just join the EV revolution, they helped lead it. At a recent event in Shenzhen, Wang unveiled BYD's latest breakthrough, a technology so advanced it could redefine what consumers expect from an electric vehicle. Sources suggest this includes a next-generation battery capable of significantly faster charging, minutes, not hours, unprecedented range that rivals gasoline-powered cars, without compromising costs, a new global pricing strategy aimed at undercutting competitors by thousands of dollars per unit. But that's not all. Wang hinted at a mass production plan that could roll out millions of these upgraded EVs in record time, leveraging BYD's vertically integrated supply chain. The response? Immediate. Stock prices of major automakers took noticeable dips, while industry analysts scrambled to understand the potential implications. European automakers, already under pressure from rising EV mandates, are calling for faster innovation. In the U.S., executives are quietly meeting behind closed doors, worried about losing market share to a Chinese powerhouse that's mastering both affordability and performance. If BYD executes this vision successfully, we could be looking at the fastest global EV adoption rate in history, a dramatic price collapse for traditional automakers struggling with supply chain costs, and possibly a world where China firmly dominates the next generation of personal transportation. Wang's message was clear. The future is arriving faster than anyone expected, and BYD plans to lead it. This isn't just a story about a car company. It's a story about a technological arms race, one that could decide which nations and corporations control the roads of tomorrow. And if BYD CEO is right, the rules of that race just changed, permanently. Behind closed doors, BYD's headquarters in Shenzhen is buzzing with calculated confidence. Insiders say Wang Chuanfu's announcement wasn't just a PR move. It was the first step in a master plan years in the making. This plan includes securing rare earth materials before supply shortages hit global markets, locking in long-term battery supply contracts with countries hungry for clean transportation, expanding production lines in Southeast Asia, South America, and even Europe, ensuring BYD's reach spans a globe. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Multiple sources hint that BYD's R&D division has been experimenting with solid-state battery technology, a breakthrough that could double energy density and slash charging times to near-instant levels. If that's true, Wang may have held back the full extent of BYD's capabilities, saving an even bigger reveal for the right moment. While BYD dominates headlines in Asia, another name looms large on the global stage: Tesla. Elon Musk has never been shy about competition, but in private, sources close to the company admit they're watching BYD's moves with unusual intensity. The two giants now stand on opposite sides of a high-stakes chessboard, Tesla banking on its software dominance, charging network, and brand power, BYD leveraging cost efficiency, battery expertise, and aggressive global expansion. Industry insiders are calling it the EV Cold War, where every advancement, every factory opening, and every new model is a strategic strike. It's not just a business battle, it's geopolitical. Governments from Washington to Brussels are already debating new tariffs, subsidies, and trade restrictions. If BYD floods global markets with ultra-affordable, high-quality EVs, it could tip economic balances and challenge the manufacturing dominance of long-established car nations. Some policymakers fear this is not just about cars. It's about who will control the data, infrastructure, and energy systems of the 21st century. If you want I can now push Scene 8 into a full behind-the-scenes power struggle where CEOs, governments, and secret alliances emerge, keeping the tension high before eventually leading to climax. While the public hears only the polished announcements, behind the curtain, the auto industry is in silent chaos. In Germany, luxury car makers are holding emergency strategy meetings. Their engineers know that BYD's manufacturing efficiency, building both batteries and vehicles under one roof, gives it a speed advantage they can't easily match. Meanwhile, in Japan, long-trusted supply chains are shifting under the weight of BYD's aggressive battery sourcing deals. Smaller suppliers are quietly abandoning their old partners in favor of contracts with the Chinese giant. And in the U.S., automotive lobbyists are already in Washington, pushing for urgent protective measures. One congressional aide was overheard saying, "If BYD gets a foothold here, it won't just be a market disruption. It'll be a national security issue." In boardrooms, at private dinners, and over encrypted calls, a whisper network is growing. Rumors swirl that BYD's next move could be a global partnership with a major tech company, one with the AI capabilities to integrate autonomous driving into their vehicles faster than anyone else. If that deal happens, it would merge BYD's hardware dominance with cutting-edge software power, a combination that could make it nearly impossible for traditional automakers to catch up. Whispers also suggest that a few struggling Western car brands are already in quiet talks to license BYD's battery technology just to stay afloat. That's the part they don't want shareholders to know. Trade negotiators are now circling the battlefield. The European Union is drafting emergency policies to protect its own EV industry, while China doubles down on export incentives for BYD. It's no longer just about who can build the best electric car. It's about who will set the global standard for the EV era. And BYD CEO knows it. When Wang Chuanfu made his announcement, he didn't just unveil new technology. He fired the opening shot of a global economic showdown. IT starts as a whisper on a Chinese tech forum late at night. A grainy photo appears, allegedly taken inside a restricted section of a BYD research facility. The image shows a prototype vehicle with no visible charging port, no fuel cap, nothing. Theories explode online. Could this be BYD's first self-charging electric car? Is this the rumored model using wireless inductive road charging technology, allowing EVs to recharge while driving? In Germany, a similar panic is brewing. Board members are warned that their current 5-year EV strategy may already be outdated before the first phase is complete. BYD refuses to confirm or deny the leak. Instead, they release a cryptic statement. "Our mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable mobility. The journey has only just begun." For analysts, this is as good as a confirmation. Stock prices of competing EV companies drop again, and whispers about an accelerated product launch begin to spread. Some say BYD might unveil this mystery vehicle at a global auto show within a year, well ahead of schedule. In a quiet office in Langley, Virginia, a senior intelligence analyst scrolls through the leaked BYD images on a secure tablet. To the untrained eye, it's just another EV prototype. But to her, the patterns on the undercarriage, the unusual sensor clusters, and the faint glow from the chassis signal something far more advanced, possibly a new energy transfer system no other nation has operational. She picks up the phone. "We need to treat this as a strategic technology threat," she tells the deputy director. "If BYD deploys this globally, we won't just lose market influence. We'll lose control of the infrastructure itself." A classified order is issued. Monitor BYD's facilities in real time using satellite surveillance. Place informants inside the company's international supply chain. Begin discreet talks with allied governments to slow BYD's expansion. Across the Atlantic, in Brussels, European trade officials hold an emergency closed-door summit. The agenda? Whether to impose strict new import limits on Chinese EVs under the guise of environmental certification requirements. But behind that diplomatic language lies a simple truth. They're stalling for time while their own automakers scramble to catch up. In Tokyo, executives from multiple Japanese car companies meet over sushi and tea in a private backroom. They discuss pooling R&D resources into a joint next-gen battery alliance, something unprecedented in Japan's fiercely competitive auto industry. Their reasoning is blunt. We're not competing against each other anymore. We're all competing against BYD. Late one night, deep inside BYD's secure R&D wing, a bank of lights suddenly flickers on. A small convoy of unmarked trucks rolls out of the facility, guarded by plainclothes security. Insiders say these trucks are carrying the first production-ready components of a mysterious self-charging system, headed toward an undisclosed assembly plant. 2 weeks later, a strange signal is detected from a closed test track in a remote Chinese province. It's a data stream, encrypted, high-bandwidth, continuous. No one outside BYD knows exactly what's being tested there, but the signal's frequency suggests real-time energy transfer experiments at full driving speed. Inside the wrecked truck, BYD security teams discover the cargo compartment has been cut open with surgical precision. The components inside? Gone. Even more telling, there's no trace of the thieves on any CCTV in the area, suggesting professional operatives with access to advanced counter-surveillance tools. In an anonymous skyscraper office in Singapore, a man in a tailored suit places a small black briefcase on the table. Across from him sits a European auto executive, visibly tense. The case is opened. Inside, neatly packed, are several of the stolen BYD components. The executive leans forward, speaking in a low voice. If these work the way your people say they do, we have a chance. But the broker shakes his head. You don't have much time. BYD is already replacing what you took. And next time, it will be guarded like state treasure. Back in Shenzhen, Wang Chuanfu calls an unscheduled midnight meeting with his most trusted security and technology directors. The atmosphere is tense. Armed guards stand outside the conference room doors. On the large screen, satellite photos of the ambush site flash alongside security reports from BYD's internal investigation. Wang's voice is calm but razor-sharp. We have been patient. We have been open to competition. But now we treat this as war. Every shipment will now travel in decoy convoys. Key engineers will work under code names and rotate between secure facilities. A new internal division will be created, part R&D, part private intelligence network. 2 months after the ambush, BYD's new counterintelligence unit quietly spreads word of another critical shipment moving to a coastal port. This time, the convoy is equipped with hidden trackers, remote surveillance drones, and armed escorts disguised as regular drivers. As expected, the same black SUVs appear. They move in fast. Only this time, the road ahead suddenly closes with unmarked security trucks. Within minutes, the thieves are surrounded. The operatives are taken alive, their identities masked behind forged passports. When BYD's investigators dig deeper, the truth shocks even Wang Chuanfu. The saboteurs are connected to a private intelligence network funded by a coalition of rival automakers and foreign investors desperate to slow BYD's rise. Rather than hide the discovery, Wang makes a calculated move. At a packed press conference in Shanghai, he reveals the stolen components, the intercepted communications, and even blurred footage of the captured operatives. The automotive world watches in stunned silence as Wang's voice echoes across the hall. Innovation should be met with competition, not sabotage. We will continue to lead, not because we silence others, but because we refuse to be silenced. The announcement sends tremors through boardrooms worldwide. Some automakers distance themselves from the scandal. Others remain quiet, and a few rush to form official partnerships with BYD, hoping to join rather than fight. 6 months later, under bright spotlights at the Geneva International Motor Show, BYD finally unveils a car that caused so much global turmoil. Sleek, futuristic, and capable of self-charging through dynamic wireless energy transfer, the vehicle is unlike anything the industry has seen. The audience is spellbound. Journalists rush to test the car, driving for hours without ever plugging in. Orders flood in from every continent, with some governments even offering to adopt BYD's tech for public transport systems. As the camera pans across the show floor, Wang Chuanfu steps aside, letting the car take center stage. He speaks quietly to one of his engineers. They tried to stop us. Now they'll have to follow us. Outside the convention hall, a billboard displays the launch slogan in bold letters. The future doesn't wait. The global auto industry has changed forever, and BYD is no longer just a competitor. It's the pace setter.